According to the Centers for Disease Control, Alzheimer's disease affects more than 6 million people in this country.
It is an incurable, progressive brain disorder that can slowly destroy memory and other cognitive skills. Earlier this summer, the Food and Drug Administration approved the first and only drug to treat the disease in its earliest stage. Since 2003, it is called Aduhelm.
But concerns about the drug's effectiveness, safety, and cost continues to mount, dashing the hopes of some Maine families desperate for new treatment. News Center Maine's Vivian Lee has more.
Jackie Clark vividly remembers when her older sister Gwen, a highly trained nurse, started having memory problems.
All kinds of logic and processing issues were happening. She was getting lost in her car.
Gwen was suffering from dementia, a general term for a decline in mental ability. Her symptoms only got worse, and she was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease, the most common cause of dementia. She passed away 5 years later at the age of 69.
Every year for her was another loss, another closing in of her life.
It's estimated more than 120,000 people die from Alzheimer's, a progressive brain disorder, each year. But treatment options have been stuck for years until June, when the FDA granted accelerated approval for the first and only drug to treat the disease. Made by the Cambridge, Massachusetts drug maker Biogen, Aduhelm does not cure or prevent Alzheimer's, but rather targets the root cause, clumps of toxic proteins known as beta amyloids in the brain.
Everybody wants something that does work, but this doesn't work.
Dr. Jeffrey Barkin is a psychiatrist who assesses and treats patients with Alzheimer's. He and other providers in Maine and across the country are sounding the alarm about the drug. Dr. Barkin says clinical trials showed no clinical benefits. Another review found only marginal improvement in patients who received the highest dose and who had the mildest symptoms. And there are other red flags about the drug, which is administered by an injection.
Aduhelm had a large burden of side effects, specifically brain swelling, which is problematic.
Now, Aduhelm is also under fire for its price tag. At $56,000 per person, the cost to treat 500,000 patients, which is just a fraction of the more than 6 million Americans believed to have Alzheimer's, would cost $29 billion in a single year. Dr. Karen Saylor is a geriatrician who has about 300 patients. More than 50% have dementia. A number of them have asked about the drug, but she's not recommending Aduhelm until prices come down and more trials are conducted.
More definitive data that it is effective and that it will produce clinically meaningful change in their lives.
Since Gwen's death, another sister, Penelope, is now living in a dementia-assisted living center. Their mother passed away from dementia-related complications in 2005. With a family history and no other potential treatments in the pipeline,
It's frightening to look at the rest of us. You sort of feel like you're sitting on a train track.
is bringing little hope to slowing down a terrible disease that is devastating our seniors and their families. Vivian Lee, News Center, Maine.
Last week, the Office of the Inspector General, the federal watchdog at the Department of Health and Human Services, announced plans to review the accelerated process used by the Food and Drug Administration to approve Aduhelm. We have much more on this new treatment and about the disease on our website and mobile app.